Hello and welcome. I'm James from James Does Things, and in this video we're going to be making a YouTube channel. So before we create the YouTube channel, there's a couple of bits of housekeeping that I suggest you do. The first one is I recommend you making a separate Gmail account for this channel, because that's essentially, it's a Google thing. Google owns YouTube, and it's a good idea, I think, to have a separate channel just to keep it away from your personal stuff if you have basically one account that you use for everything. I would do a separate one for this video and basically treat it like a business. Once you've signed in to the Google account that you want to make the channel for, you're going to come up here, you're going to go into YouTube, and then you're going to come up here into the top right hand corner. If you're not in the right channel, then you can always sign out or switch account to the one you want to be in if you're still logged into your old one. But what you're going to see at the top here is an option to create a channel. So we're going to click on that, and then you're given two things to fill in. So the top one is the name of your channel. So I'm going to be making a design channel. That's actually because I can't spell design despite being a designer. So in my day job, in the evenings I sell things on eBay, but my day job I am a civil engineer and I design things. So I've decided to do a design channel. This is the name I've given it. If you haven't thought of a name yet, or you haven't thought of a good one, you can change it later, so it's not set in stone. I don't know how easy it is to change the handle, but certainly you can change this whenever you want, and people do regularly. If you don't even know what your channel's going to be about yet, that's fine, just put whatever you want in, just put your name in, that's fine. And you've also got a chance to upload a picture. We're going to come on to that later, so we can ignore that for now, and we're going to go to create channel. Okay, so it's telling you that your channel's been created and you need to check back in a few minutes. So what we're then going to do is we're going to hit F5. This channel does not exist. Okay, don't worry, it does exist really. So right, there we go. So it thinks my channel exists, and as you can see, there's nothing to it at all. So what we're going to hit is customize channel. Okay, by hitting customize channel, we've come into YouTube Studio, which is basically that's the back end of YouTube. As the channel creator, this is where you see all your stats. It's where you do the uploading. It's a good idea to get sort of familiar with it and find your way around it. But for now, we're just going to be we're going to stick to the customization part. So the first thing, channel trailer, that's something we can do later. The thing that we want to look at is branding, because that's the first thing we can do. So essentially for this we need two things. We need a logo and we need a banner image. And to make those, we're going to go to Canva. Okay, so we've come to Canva. This is the free way of doing things. If you've got the money, then you could come to Fiverr and you could get someone to make you a logo and a banner. And they'll make you trailer videos. You can get a whole channel and all the videos. You can get anything done on Fiverr. Literally, you can just get someone to do all the work for you. But I'm just going to show you how to quickly make a logo. What I'd like to emphasize with this before we get started is I'm going to keep it simple. So I had a little go at making logos for myself earlier. I spent a lot of time, honestly, I spent too much time really. So unless you're a graphic designer who's going to be showing people how to make logos and things like that, then I would just do something simple. Otherwise, it's very easy to kind of you get kind of bogged down and you spend a lot of time thinking about the name, thinking about the logo, and getting everything just so, and you don't actually get started. You don't actually make the channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on. You can come down here, say the logo. You can just come up here and just do logo, and then click on logo. And there's lots of options down here. Canva's free, by the way. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But it's Canva into Google. Some things are you need a subscription for. You can actually get, I think there's a free trial for, might even be a month, if not it's 7 days. But so you can come in and use all the free options. Canva's brilliant. I use it for my thumbnails. I use it for my logos. Like I said, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm a structural designer. So all my stuff is so. But what I would encourage you to do, if you're completely stuck, just put a heading in and either put the name of your channel, so your channel, and basically make a placeholder, but make something, because I think it looks better than nothing, and also it gives you a kind of, it gives you that feeling rather than just leaving it blank. It gives you that feeling of, yeah, I've started, I've got a logo. It's not very good, but it's better than nothing. It's a start. So, you know, put your channel name, or maybe just put, you know, you could just put a giant letter Y. I'm not going to go into how you do everything in Canva. That's literally a whole, you could dedicate a whole channel just to Canva. Honestly, there's all sorts of things you can do in this. I really rate Canva. It's free, so you could just do like one massive letter, you know, a bit like your standard YouTube sort of thing up here. You could just do something slightly better than that. But then you come up to here to share, and then you hit download, and it will download it. PNGs are best for lots of things. JPEGs are better for some things. They go faster and they're smaller. But anyway, you download it, and that's that. So that's the first thing to do, and I'll show you why. Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a banner also here in Canva. So I'm going to close that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to type in. I don't think it's an option down here. I'm going to type in YouTube banner. Again, there's lots of options here. Lots of them are pro, but you can make some really quite fancy stuff. What you'll notice is that most of the writing is in the middle, and that's deliberate, and I'm not on all of them. We're going to create a blank one today, so I'm just going to go into here. Now, before we get started on actually making the YouTube banner, we need to go and search for something, and what that is the YouTube banner template 2560 times 1440, because that's the standard size, and hopefully this will give us an image that's the right size. So let's click on that one. You see, it doesn't matter if it's not quite the right size, as long as it's the same proportions. So you might usually, the way I've found this is just going to Pinterest, maybe that'll save us. There we go. So if you hover over the image in Google image search, if you see down here at the bottom right, it says 2560 by 1440. So that's the one you want. You can get other ones that still work. So I'm going to right click on there, I'm going to do save image as. I'm just going to save it to my downloads folder, and then I'm going to come back to Canva, and I'm going to go to my downloads, and I'm going to drag my banner, and I'm going to drag my logo as well, if I haven't already dragged my logo. I've already done my logo, so if you haven't already dragged your logo in, drag your logo in. That was the first one I did, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so then what you do is you click on the banner that you just dragged in. What you should find is that it fits perfectly once you scale it to the right size. And so we're going to call this, you call it your channel name, YouTube banner. And then what you can do is you can lock this page, and you can also go to what we'll do, position. Yeah, there's nothing else there, so we're going to lock it. That means you won't, if you move your mouse around, it won't drag this around, which is good. The reason we do this is this area here is what people will see most of the time. The desktop minimum and mobile. So most people on desktops will actually see a bit more of this. What you'll find is it might disappear on some screens at some resolutions. Most people will see this. That's the desktop maximum area. So that's if you've got a really big resolution on your monitor. Most people are going to be able to see sort of in this region. For some reason, the TV one is this big. Honestly, I've watched YouTube on a TV plenty of times, and I've never ever, I don't think, ever clicked on someone's. I've clicked on videos, but I don't think I've ever gone and looked in someone's channel on the TV. So for me, this isn't a big one. So what I would tend to do is, again, you can always come back and make this fancier when you're a bit more confident, a bit more established, and maybe you've got some. Oh, I've locked the whole page. So don't click that one because that locks the page. But you can lock items. Lock that. Right. So what you should have done was right click on it and then locked it. Is that locked it completely now? Ah, there we go. So up here it's locked, so I can unlock it there. And then what you want to do is plonk your logo in the middle and then just shrink it to there. And then the next thing you can do, if you're feeling adventurous, you can start adding some text. If you are going to add, all I would do is you can add a picture of you. That's the other thing to do. And another sort of recommended thing to do is add some text to get people to subscribe to your channel, because people are going to come in when you're new. People might come onto your channel and try and see what you're about. So you want to put something like, let's do add a heading. So explain what you're about. So we're going to put, might put like design videos every week. So kind of you need to kind of give people a reason to actually subscribe to you. So I might put new design videos every week. It's good to give people a frequency so they know what they know what to expect. So you could put that, or subscribe for. Let's see, put a title in or something. Anyway, I'm not going to do it. So we've put that in, and then what I would do is I'm going to make that white. So now I know where my sort of safe area is. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to make the thing white. I'm going to delete this once I've unlocked it, and then I'm going to make my background black. So again, it's not brilliant, but it's better than nothing. It's something. So it's best to do something and just get going. You can spend. There are lots of videos on YouTube, and I'll probably do some in the future about how to make good ones of these. But it's something to get you going without getting too bogged down and getting everything just right. Right, so there we go. So I've downloaded that. Now we're going to come back to YouTube. We're going to click upload. So it's going to go straight to our downloads folder. There we go. It's bang in the middle. Done. And I'm going to go to the banner image that we just made, and we're going to click there. Okay, so it's showing us that so it's viewable on all devices, viewable on desktop. Like we said, that's fine for now. And then video watermark. So I do think it's a good idea to do this. I'm going to put my logo in there. Done. And I'm going to put it on for the entire video. So what will happen is this will appear in the bottom right hand. You should be able to see one now in the bottom right hand of this video you're watching, and if you click on that, it will subscribe to the channel. But it just helps you. It's one extra thing to make your videos harder to pirate. And then once we've done those three things, stop. And then we're going to click publish. So that will say, it'll have a think. Now it's saying changes published. So you can either click go to channel down here, or you can click view channel here. Okay, so there's lots of improvements we could make to this, but it looks better than nothing. It's a good start. And for some reason that hasn't come up, so what we'll do is we're going to click on that now, and this might take us to our Google account. No. Okay, so it might take a day or two for that to go in, I think, because that's actually the same picture as your Google account, and I have heard that it can take up to a day to get that sort of synchronized. So the next thing we need to go and do is the basic info. So the channel name, this is where you change it. So it says you can change your name twice in 14 days, so that's the limit there. Next thing to do is a description, so people will see this when they come in. So this is what we want to do. Your description will appear in the About section of your channel and search results, among other places. So this is Google's sort of gentle way of telling you, if you fill this in, it gives Google more information about who you are and who they should be serving your videos to. I don't know how important this is in the grand scheme of YouTube and being, and in the algorithm and things like that, but it certainly can't hurt. And the fact that they're asking you to do it means you should probably do it. So I'm going to populate this now with my one. Okay, so I've put a bit of blurb in there. I've not used all of my 1,000 words, although I probably should do. And again, it's the sort of thing where it's better to have something than nothing, and it's something I'll probably revisit in the future. What I've tried to do, I've just given a basic intro, so my name is James and I make videos about, and then I've tried to use all the keywords, all sort of relevant keywords that my channel will be sort of relating to. So AutoCAD, structural and architectural design, engineering, use design again, civil engineer, because that's what I am by trade, and that kind of thing. So and then just something sort of short and sweet at the end. I hope you find these videos useful and entertaining. You could do a call to action, maybe like please subscribe, that sort of thing. But we just need something. So again, don't spend too long on it when you're just getting started. You want to be making videos really, rather than spending a day, or a day's worth of spare time on, on just the description. Because I don't know about you, but I could definitely, I could write 1,000 words and then I could rewrite them 5 times. So coming down to the next bit, the channel URL. This is actually really important, and it's a good idea to copy it. And what I do is I actually keep an Excel file with a list of all my videos in, and then I keep a link at the top. You can do that. You don't have to use Excel if you don't have it. You use Google Sheets or whatever they do on Apple Macs. But what I would do is I would come in here and I would paste. Let's do a fresh one, shall we? So we'll come in here and we'll paste all that gubbins in. And what you need to do is you actually need to add something onto the end of it. So I'm just going to come in here, and what it is it's question mark sub underscore confirmation equals 1. And what that does is every time you link to your channel, instead of it just taking people to your channel, it'll take people to your channel with a little subscription box. So it'll ask the question. It won't just take them to the channel. It'll take them to the channel and ask them the question with a big pop-up. Do you want to subscribe to this channel? So it's such a useful thing. So what we're going to do is, now we've copied that, I'm going to come back to here. I'm going to come into here, and then I'm going to paste that there. So, and then I'm going to copy all of that. And what that'll do now, if I just come up to here, what it should do is it should tell me that I can't subscribe to my own channel. If I type that in there, bosh. There we go, confirm channel subscription. Are you sure you want to subscribe to Very OTT Design? Yes or no? Okay, so it might tell me now that I can't. Sorry, something went wrong. You may not subscribe to yourself. But essentially, if you're planning to share it with friends and family, and they're planning to share it with other people, if you use that link instead of the vanilla one, so if I just copy that, stick it in, that'll just take me to the channel. It won't take me. It won't ask me to subscribe, and just from there you can't. You see, because I'm the creator, it doesn't show me where I can subscribe. But what you'll find is if people are even remotely interested and you ask them, it's like basically it's 50-50 whether they're going to subscribe. Whereas you find if you just send people to the channel, if people aren't big YouTubers, or they don't consume much on YouTube, they might even not know about subscribing. So I bet you'd find that just by sending people to the channel, you'd probably only get a subscription of maybe 10%, whereas you're almost kind of guaranteeing it's going to be 50%, unless you're just spamming it to random people. So long story short, copy that and do the thing. I'll put that in the description, the bit that you need to paste on the end of it. because it's quite a handy thing to do. The next thing to do is the links. This is where, if you've got a website already, say if you're doing it for if you've got a shop or an established website, then this is where you want to put your links. If you're doing let's say if you've got social media accounts, it's a good idea to put these in as well. I haven't set up any social media for this account yet, so I haven't got anything to put in here. But what you'll find is once you start doing them, they'll appear down here in a little row. So you might have like if you type Facebook in, it'll actually give you the Facebook icon, and Twitter or X or whatever, Instagram, all the rest of it. So where are we going? Yeah. So that's what you put in there, and then contact info. Like I said, this is good because once you get going, and it's not an if, it's a when. Think of it. Try and think positively. When you get going, eventually people will contact you with sponsorships, collaboration deals, things like that, and you want to send them to an email address. But I recommend that you don't send them to the email address that you created the account with, just because this is publicly available. And if I was a scammer and I wanted to get into your account, then this is half of the information I need, pretty much. There are other ways to protect your account, but this is a big part of it. So have we published? I think we published, so let's save that. And then if we just go around to another few bits, let's just have a quick look. So discard changes, no. Let's publish. Okay, so I can't. All right, that's because. All right, so I'm going to publish. So I'll save that. The things you want to know are. This is where it tells you your eligibility for earning money. So you need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to start earning. There was actually, I can't see it on this one, but on my one there's like a lower limit. I've still got this limit, but then there's another limit which is 500, and I think it's 2,000 or something like that. So where I think it's where you get access to some things. It might be super chat or something like that, but you don't get access to everything. You certainly don't get the proper monetization. And then coming over here, you've got your copyright strikes, subtitles. Apparently adding subtitles to channels, to videos, really helps Google, because obviously it gives them a transcription of everything you've said in the video, so it helps them understand what the video is about. So I've never done it personally, and you can come to Fiverr and get YouTube video for do subtitles or transcription. Let's have a look. There's lots of people offering editing services. Transcription. There we go. So you can get transcription done for your videos, things like that. I've never tried it, but it's, again, I've heard it's recommended. Comments is definitely worth checking. What you'll find is when you're on your channel, you'll get a little notification up here, not in YouTube Studio, but actually if you go back to your channel, you'll get the little bell notifications. You have a little red icon with a number in it, and it's a really good idea to reply to them, because if people leave comments on your videos and you reply, it kind of shows YouTube. It's kind of an interaction, so it tells YouTube that there's something going on here and it's worth pushing it to more people. So I always try and reply. I check my YouTube channel every day. I don't go and check the views and stuff every day, but I check the comments, because it really helps. So right, so if you want to get back into YouTube Studio where we were, you come up to here, come down to YouTube Studio. So we'll come back in. So the dashboard is what's going to tell you what's going on. It'll show you. They usually have your latest video here, and then it'll show you how many people have watched your latest video and things like that. And this sort of populates with more and more information as the more content you put out. The content goes in here. When you are ready to upload a video, you come up to here and you just click create and then do upload a video. There's not a lot to show you in the analytics because obviously there's no videos, but again, this is worth it's worth coming to. And I think that's probably it to begin with, but that's basically how you create the channel and how you operate it. If there's anything I didn't cover, or if you've got any questions, please drop me a message, or leave me a comment, even better, and leave me a like and consider subscribing if you found this useful and you want more content like this. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.